Hey, it's Gray Rinehart here again between the black and the white. And today I want to talk about perspective and self-improvement. Now, I'm not going to talk about perspective like in art. I know my limitations and I'm not going to try to draw a picture for you. Nobody wants to see that. Just the kind of perspective that depends on where we are and where we look. Now, the self-improvement part is something else that comes out of Miyamoto Musashi's A Book of Five Rings, which I've mentioned on previous episodes. And one of the things he wrote is, today is victory over yourself of yesterday. And I just really, really like that. I wish I could concentrate on that more. But it does give a little bit of insight, for lack of a better word, into the kind of perspective that we have to have in order to accomplish any kind of self-improvement. Now, I do like to make charts and graphs, and so I'll throw up a little chart here. Self-improvement generally takes place over a period of time, and so our x-axis here would be time. It could be days or weeks or months or years, whatever we're trying to look at. And the y-axis, of course, would be whatever the thing is we're trying to improve. It could be the amount of exercise that we get, or the amount of money that we have in savings, or any number of different things. Now, as a writer, I might use how many words that I've written in a day or in a week or something, or how many stories that I've had published in a year, or things of that nature. I could break it down into fiction or nonfiction or what have you. But to secure the victory over myself of yesterday requires that I know how I did yesterday. And so it requires what I would term the personal perspective, where no matter what point I'm at, I look backwards at the last point to see if I've made any improvement, and then I cast my gaze forward to try to improve in the future. Sometimes I will and sometimes I won't. But I think that's important. And I think that's better than the comparative perspective. I don't think it helps as much if I compare myself to other people who write more or who publish more or who make more money from their writing. I might get a little motivation by doing that, but there are a lot of people who are a lot more successful at this gig than I am, and so I might get a lot of demotivation depending on where I look. In terms of my self-improvement, though, I just don't think it's as powerful as looking at what I've done and using that as the basis of comparison. You know, maybe you've heard the little bit about how focusing on the past too much is like driving while you're looking in the rearview mirror, that it doesn't work so well. And I think that's true, but the comparative perspective would be like driving while you're looking out the side at the cars next to you. And I don't think that works so well either. It certainly doesn't get you necessarily to where you want to be. So I like to think of it as we need to look at where we're going, look at the self that we want to be, more than anything else. And sometimes we cast our gaze back at ourselves of yesterday because that's who we want the victory over. Sometimes we might look to the side to see where we are in relation to other people, but that is not as important. Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. I just really, really like that. But hey, what do you think about it? Where do you look in terms of your self-improvement? Whatever you're trying to improve on, I wish you luck. I wish you all the best. Keep doing what you're doing. And if that's not working, find something else to do. But meanwhile, I thank you for your time, and I hope to see you on another episode of Between the Black and the White. Because, as you know, between the black and the white is where you find gray.